Hello, everyone, and welcome to Friday on the Homestead. Tonight's topic is, what skills do you still need? All righty, so let's bring it back over here. And I got to go fix something. I got a sound loop going on here, so I got to fix something. There we go. That took care of it. Oh, I just love having when I forget to do something. All right, so how's everybody doing today?
I'm here.
Splendid.
Okay, so we had Backwood's lawn here. He lost power. If you were in the previous live stream, Dave's down here. He was in there and he was saying they were just getting hit with thunder, rain. It sounded like 155's going off the lightning and everything else. So yeah, he lost power. So we lost him. I don't know how for the night or just for a little bit, but probably for a while. If it's blowing that hard down there. But,
it was pouring rain here. It was bad. Like,
and I didn't, where I'm at, I didn't get a drop. Not a drop. Everywhere around me got it, though.
Yeah, Dave posted a good video last night, 8 minutes worth of lightning thunder going off, and it was cool.
Yeah, it went from 92 degrees here to 71 in like an hour.
Oh, I'm still above 80.
Yeah, it was pretty chilly and rainy and nasty.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry you can't handle the cold, but send it down here. I need it.
All right, so I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to put the link in the chat.
Boy, you brave.
Or as Courtney says, the link is in link. Al's here.
Ah!
And so I'm going to do a quick roll call here. Oh, it says we only got 10 people.
Hey, I was surprised. There was actually 23 in mine when it ended. I'm happy and tickled that we had that many people there. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Why didn't they all come over here? I put the link for them.
They scared. They didn't want to have to look at my ugly mug again.
Give them a few minutes. They'll start trickling in here.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to do a roll call of who's here. Andrew Barker's here. He's working from work. Carol's here. Courtney's husband's here. And of course, Courtney.
She is. Where's she at?
Kaylin Strain is here. Gardner Josh. Backwoods Law. He says
he's lurking at the moment.
He's working on getting back in here. Built on the Rock Homestead. Hey, how's it going? Wide Family Farms right next to me. Howie. Food Forest Permaculture. Gardner Josh. I'm talking. Taylor Catlin is here. Yeah, Taylor, I do that on Friday the 13th. Whenever there's a Friday the 13th, I throw it up. The Grammy Karen's here. Ginger Ninja. Shady Hill Homestead. And keep coming. Grammy, Granddad, everybody. Prep Steading with Belinda. How you doing? All right. So before I jump into this, I got to spill the beans on why I did that Friday 13th. It is Friday 13th. Halloween is always. Huh?
Do me a favor. If you're going to spill the beans, make sure they're the good Jelly Belly beans. At least that way they're edible. We're not getting that brown, nasty bean crap all over our shoes and everything else. I'd appreciate it.
Why do you think I changed my shirt? I had 12-year-olds throwing refried beans at me. Why isn't it Taco Bell, Uncle Al? It's homemade tacos, real meat, real vegetables.
Are you sure you didn't throw anything weird in there, Uncle Al?
Like what?
Blue.
Grasshoppers.
Anyways, the Halloween is so big in our family. My grandniece was posting on there and on Facebook. She goes, "Hell, it's Friday the 13th. Can I put out the Halloween decorations now?" And almost instantly, about 20 people that we know were posted on there. Yes, it's time for Halloween decorations. We got Friday the 13th. So yeah.
Come on, guys. Our kids aren't even back in school yet.
You want to see something?
Hey, we got to get the Halloween decorations out now because Christmas is going to be hitting next week.
No, it's already hitting now. I
humbug.
seen Halloween, Memorial as a Labor Day, Halloween, Labor Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Halloween all wrapped into one.
Yeah, there was Halloween stuff everywhere today at the store.
Yeah.
Also
Dollar
Christmas.
Tree's full
Okay.
of it.
So, but just a historical fact. Do you know why Friday the 13th is considered unlucky?
Yeah,
Something
if
to
you
do
go
with the
back-
Knights Templar.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Back the King of Spain didn't want to pay the interest from the loans he had made with the Templars, so he decided to null and void everything and got and lied to the Pope and got the tell them that they were doing bad things, got the Pope to outlaw them, and so they went around and tried killing them all.
On Friday, I believe it was October, Friday the 13th, memory serves correctly, that it was a mandate that a letter sent to everybody could only be opened at that time. And at that time, when they opened it, they were told at this specific hour they're to go and round them all up.
Yeah.
It was a coordinated
All right.
attack worldwide.
Yeah, CB's here, and Ms.
Oh,
Taz
Pat?
Christie's here.
Yep.
All right, so tonight's topic. All right, so I put the link in there for any of you that have the camera and stuff and want to come up here. You don't have to do it right away. You can do it as we get going along. I'll throw the link in there a couple times, but we want to hear from you. And those that don't want to come up, too shy to come up here, go ahead and type it in the side chat here. But let's go to back up there.
Froze.
It's not working. There it goes. All right, so let's go to the slideshow here. All right, so what skills do you need? And, well, we're going to talk about that. But first, guys, take this opportunity, share it out. Courtney already shared it out a bunch, so everybody else share it out as well. All right, so now is the time to learn, because tomorrow it may be too late to learn, as this, the saying kind of goes. They kind of borrowed it, twisted it there. All right, so how many of you out there know how to run a tractor and don't and want to learn? Yeah. So
Nobody knows how to fix the tractor.
How many have not been able to fix his tractor because the wind keeps blowing every time I go out there to fix the points and condenser? For a little bit more than just normal first aid, how many want some advanced first aid training? How many would like to know how to run a horse team when the tractor's broken down or after a big EMP? Oh, by the way, a neighbor up the street from us, she was raised doing horse teams. And everything from a two-pair to 6 of them out there pulling a stagecoach. She could handle it, and she was in her teenage years when she was doing it. And she taught me a lot about that. Blacksmithing. How many would like to know how to do blacksmithing or think they're going to need to know how to do blacksmithing in the future?
True, Keith. Very true.
Keith, I got pictures of my dad running the 20 mule team borax train. Yeah, that one's in my blood. Okay, but bees, guys. Who wants to learn how to keep bees?
Me.
I need to learn that. My wife wants to learn that big time.
Hey, I've got all that kind of information on my Discord server for free download.
Yep.
There's a link in private chat if you want to throw it up there to the Discord server.
Okay, let me throw that up there. So Control C, back to comments.
Control
All right.
V.
And there it is. So that's the Discord, Dave's Discord channel, which also has the video he played in the middle of his last one, which may get yanked. But
no, that's not on Discord because I can't afford to download or upload to Discord video files that large.
ooh,
But it's, yeah, unfortunately, I'd have to be a very high-paying member to keep it at that level, and I just can't afford it no more.
yeah. All right. Yeah, so beekeeping is something that's especially important because if you have your own bees, You have the local honey, which has all the local
Pollens and everything in it.
Yes. Thanks, Dave.
Oh, and also it's the dark honey, folks, not
Yeah.
the lighter stuff.
All right. How many want to learn how to do pressure canning?
Watch Courtney.
Yeah.
Or mouse.
Or mouse toes, or Discover Sustainables, or
Fairy.
Rebel Canners. So, all right. How many want to have horses? Do you know how to take care of the horses' feet and do?
I wish
them
I
and
knew
stuff?
how. I'm kind of scared because it's really dangerous. Like it's dangerous. Like that horse kicks you, or it can.
Yeah.
It can kind of kill you.
Yeah.
Duh.
My dad was a farrier when I was growing up. So between time I was 3 and 9, I used to go out with him during the summertime, and I learned how to do everything. He only let me shoe one horse. I did it right, but it was a smaller pony, and yeah, I've seen someone get armory on him. I've seen him turn around, bite their ear, the horse's ear, and then they go rigid when you bite their ear, and he had me hobble them. Once the horse is hobbled, they're mellow after that. They go, I don't want that, no more of that.
I would do to a horse what I did do to a horse that tried dragging me underneath a fence. I cold cocked it right across its nose. I never had a problem with that horse after that. Not one. I could walk up to it and ride it bareback if I wanted.
Yeah.
Now, how important is it that horses wear shoes?
Very important.
Because
It
they don't know wild.
depends.
So
It depends where you're riding them, and the soil conditions, and how much you look and maintain their hoofs. If you are constantly checking their hoofs daily and everything else, you can go a little bit longer. But if you're riding them out on pavement, you want to put rubber shoes on.
Oh, okay.
They got the steel in them with the rubber coating on it. That way they don't slip on the asphalt.
Right.
Okay.
Or cobblestones.
Or cobblestones.
The reason why you don't see too many wild horses because nobody shoes them. Second reason is they have a higher death rate from hoof cancer because they run over rough ground. If they get a type of cancer, you'll see them limping, and then suddenly you see there's a dead horse out there. Yeah.
Yeah. You also if they bruise the inner part of the hoof there, they step on the wrong type of rocks and stuff. But yeah, down in Arizona and New Mexico, there are still herds of wild Mustangs down there.
Wow.
All right, another skill.
Ginger. When it comes to wild rabbits, I would be very cautious. You may capture and may get it to breed, but it would be several generations before you could breed out their native wildness to where you'd be able to handle them and sell them. More than likely, you would have some wild meat at best.
Right. And also the second problem is there's a disease going around. You do not want to get starts with a B.
Yeah.
It's rabbit
I'm not
disease.
sure what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. All right. How many of you like to learn how to weld?
I would actually like to learn how.
Yeah. Welding is cool. And actually, which I'm kind of an anomaly when I used to work in construction, in the machine shop there, all the guys were either stick or MIG welding. I preferred the TIG or gas welding. I could do amazing things with gas welding and with a TIG welder. Because the TIG welder acts almost like a gas. You do the same type puddling and stuff on it, and yeah, there are some amazing things some of these guys can do. Gerald Jones.
Is it hard to be really precise wearing that helmet though, and seeing?
Yes, you go blind if you don't wear it.
Yeah.
Well, depending on the lens filters have different ratings on them, and depending on how bright, what your voltage is and stuff, puts out brighter light and stuff. and they do different ones. But Gerald Jones, friend of mine, little short guy. I mean, this guy was squirrely and everything else. You want to talk about a guy that could weld in the most adverse conditions. I saw him welding inside of a pipeline, this 8-foot diameter pipe, and he's welding, and there's water dripping in, and the water's hitting the ladder in front of him, and he's getting little arcs across to his wee-wee as he's welding, and his hips are just going, and he has made the most perfect weld.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Another skill people need to learn, and I need to relearn this. It's been over 40 years since I did one, and we're not going to say what it is, but everybody should be able to guess. It has to do with harvesting food.
We call it
harvesting food.
It's called
food I call it food harvesting. I like food harvesting.
Yeah, I know, but it's food processing for the people who are vegans out there. You have to have a certificate on handling domestic livestock and wild livestock, because those two are different and you need separate tools. Keep telling this to people.
Yeah. Our meat place, they can't, but can I say butcher? Sorry. They can't have deer and cow in the same area, like not even in the same building. They have to have in separate buildings. Completely. And
he made it. He's got power again.
Welcome back.
All right.
I had to reinstall everything. Can you believe it?
Yep. Oh, geez. He must have had a heck of a spike there. Yeah, Keith, the thing is, the U-boobs, I hates the word, and that's why I try to do processing, harvesting.
That's McDonald's. No, it's simple. That's McDonald's on the hoof.
All right. So, but another skill here coming up. How many of you know how to do proper accounting and bookkeeping?
Don't want to, but I know.
Yeah, that's what my wife does. And she's constantly beating me over the head with, the proper ways to do stuff. All right. Now we had, I already had blacksmithing in there, didn't I?
Yeah.
Sort of, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. All right. This is now the blacksmithing. Okay, that's how important it is. Because hey, if the balloon should go up, the poop hit the rotary oscillator, the end of the world as we know it should occur, and all of a sudden there's no more commercial metal manufacturing. Somebody's going to have to make the stuff for us. And of course, those that can do this are going to be rich.
Yeah.
I made a statement a couple of years back and everybody laughed it off. But you know what? If the grid were to completely fail, let's say we got hit by an EMP or a CME that totally knocked everything out, and we're 50 years or 150 years backwards, which means it'd be about 30 years at least before we could start getting any semblance of real power back. Mm-hmm. Them great big huge power lines hanging over everybody's head would provide a very excellent source of materials to make dishes, silverware, and other utensils needed to make other things.
Yeah. And some of those are steel, some of those are aluminum, some of them are copper.
Yep.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. So, guys, now's the time to learn. Now's the time to get at it. And I think that is the end of that. So I'm going to hit my panel up here first, and then everybody in the side, I want you guys to start throwing up. They already are. He says leather tack repair. Canteens of leather. Yeah. Okay. So what skills, give me 5 skills that you think you still need to learn. Anyone of you can start it off that you still need to learn.
I'll go ahead and go first.
All right.
I don't know how to garden, but guess what? My wife does, so I've got that covered. I just need to learn from her. So, number 2, you can never have enough medical training. So I'll definitely go. Anybody wants to do trauma, combat certifications, anything like that, yeah, I'll go do it. Just because you have been certified in the past and have done things, it doesn't mean you can't learn something new. There's always new stuff coming out in medical training. So
right, and as you well know, it's a perishable skill. That's one thing. If you don't keep at it, you'll forget certain aspects of it.
And, just keeping that in the front of your head with medical training is the important thing, because if you come up on a situation, you need to be sure that you're able to just go by muscle memory and you're not having to think about it. Because if you have to think about it and somebody's chainsawed off their leg, you got a problem, because you got to get on that immediately.
Right.
That's the top two. I could probably get some other stuff.
I have to say to Backwoods Law, JFM, it's not like pulling a calf, guys. Okay, none of you guys got cattle. All right, and that goes for a midwife. You just don't. We'll get the tractor out, hon. Just put your legs up there. We'll pull the baby out. Hell no. You got to know how to midwife. That goes for human babies, and that goes for cattle and sheep and goats. If it gives birth, you better know what the hell you're doing, because I don't want to lose a $5,000 dairy cow because some joker says, I went to vet school. And I learned later it's dogs and cats and not large-scale animals. You want to see Uncle Alan curse like a Marine?
No.
Try that with one of my cows. That's
no, this is a family channel.
Hold back there, Uncle Al. Hold back.
All right. So I think Ginger has some, put up two good ones in here. Learning how to make natural bug repellent.
Yes.
And foraging. Foraging for local foraging is a skill that everyone should be interested in learning. Okay, what else we got down here?
And actually, foraging is get books.
Yeah, and there's been some videos. Tonight they were on before Dave.
That Homestead.
Teresa and Lee, Springfield Ridge Farm.
Right.
Yeah.
They know their stuff as far as foraging goes. Like I've seen a lot of their videos, and they know what they're talking about, like wild lettuce and. Yeah.
So there's resources out here on YouTube that ones like that you can actually learn a lot. But like she was saying was it on Facebook? Or was it in one of her videos about their area is different than. Oh, it was a picture post she did on Facebook. What is this? I'm not sure what this is. Well, that kind of looks like this in this area. It kind of looks like that in there. Two different plants. One's okay to eat, the other one's not.
Yeah, I have a book of just like Northeast Ohio.
Right.
So like I know what plants that match my area.
Oh, Jay has a good one here. Pottery. Learning how to do pot and fire pottery.
If you
easy, break out the blowtorch.
Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
If you want to see a really good pottery course, go check Townsend's and Sons or Townsend's. They do bricks, they do cups, they do plates, mugs, whole thing. They show you how to fire it like in the colonial times, how to make it and how to glaze it the old way, like salt glaze. This is why I tell everybody get 100 pounds of salt, because it's not only for food, you make dishware out of it.
Okay. All right. Ms. Taz, you're going to spend hours in there, and there is great information. Download tons of it. You'll be spending a lot of time reading and learning. And I like what Ginger said here about Ark Willman. Well, yeah. Is that supposed to be a D in there? Wildman? Ark Wildman?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
No,
yeah. Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be Ark Wildman Survival. Yeah. So, and here's something. I have a solar oven. I have the sun oven. I've done one dish in it, and I got to go out and practice more cooking personally.
Right. Let's see. I got a solar oven because it's so hot here. It's like 105 today. I do tarts, pastries, breads. It's fairly easy if you're doing a bread or a stew. What stinks if you're trying to roast meat or a chicken, because you could goof that up really easy, and you don't want to like, Uncle Alan, is it done? Don't poke it with a fork. And I have exploded chicken all over the place. But
okay. I'll cover some others here real quick here. So I got that one. Belinda, she has a great resource right there. Yeah, Cherokee Nation. I mean, we had in our scout troop, we had I can't remember what tribe she was from, but she actually taught several of the merit badges with that and did the Native Indian history. And I like Conrad's thing here, clay adobe building.
Howie made a good point.
Huh?
Howie makes a great point as well.
I'm behind here. I'm trying to catch up here with these. The evening from hey, Country Homestead Preacher, how you doing? We're down here. Spinning wheel and loom.
The reason why I haven't done any looming or anything like that is because the spinning wheel is kind of expensive, and I don't have any sheep for wool or anything like that. I think if the time came and I came across something like that, I would know how to do it because, I like that kind of thing. I know how to do it, but it's I don't have it here. You know what I mean?
How fine do you want the yarn to be? Because there's an old way in Japan. We have a wooden disc, and you put a dowel through it, and then you spin your yarn through it. It's an old. Nobody ever heard about it, so I won't say about it.
So I caught Howie's gill net. I think I caught everybody's comment. Trapping. Yeah, I think I caught up here. And anybody that snuck in that haven't said hi to? Hi. Okay.
Something else to back off of Uncle Al is if you have the medicines to take care of large animals, guess what? A lot of those medications are transferable and you can use them on humans as well.
Yeah.
But the key is you have to know what you're going to use because you're not going to use the same dose you use on a 800-pound cow on a 200-pound human. That would be very bad. But
you just want to feel really good.
What's that?
So you just want to feel really good.
Yeah. That'd be a little more than good, I think, if you're using ketamine. But that is something because, I've got the medical side, but I may not know everything about taking care of an animal. So that's something else I could do. I may be able to help somebody who doesn't know how to give the right dose for an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dave, I forgot Dave had it. I was looking it up here on Amazon for it. So Dave, show that again. I'm gonna make that big.
And Suburban Hillbilly just came in.
Hey, Suburban Hillbilly. Yeah. So in this book, Doc Bones and Nurse Amy talk about where you can get fish mocks and other things that are basically they are human. The human varieties, they made the same plant. They just divert some off and and label it for fish. And he said what's interesting is the dosages. I mean, the pills are the same. I mean, you just so it's already
for that is because with the fish, what you're doing is you're just taking the pill and you're dropping it in the water to get it into the fish.
Yeah.
So the water is taking the extra amount and diluting it so that it's okay for the fish, but at the same time, it's the same tablet that you would need to take as a human because it's a concentrate.
And coming from an inside source. Go ahead, Al.
Do not shove the pill into the fish. It's in the water.
No.
I wondered how you did that. I was trying to catch that fish all day.
Go ahead, Dave.
Coming from an inside source, if you want fish mocks, fish selling, any of the other ones that are out there that can be done via human, get it now.
Do those things have to be refrigerized though? The fish mocks doesn't, right?
No.
Okay.
It is the dry powder stuff that lasts 50 years.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
It's
The
shelf
only ones
stable.
that need refrigeration is large animal. That's horse, cattle. I forget the third one. Sheep or goat?
Horse, cows, bovine. Buffalo.
No, that's under bovine.
Yep.
Yeah.
There
That's
are
the third
Most
ones
of
that need
your
to be
pig
done.
supplements also need to be refrigerated. Not all of
That's
them,
it.
most of them.
Pig, swine.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to say something. Everybody keeps saying you could grow soybeans. I keep telling people, if you don't know how to process soybeans, it's toxic. Do not eat green soybeans uncooked. Do not eat the leaves. Do not eat the stems. They have a fuzzy thing, sharp little tiny needles. That's not good for your digestive system, because I think Costco got sued because they put raw green soybeans in their salads.
That's good. That's with most beans, Uncle Al, too. Lima beans you can't eat raw either, or anything like that.
That was the other bean that Costco put in their fresh organic salad. Do you know how many people got poisoned from that? Soybeans, lima bean, I forget the other bean, but it's all raw. They thought it was natural, organic, until everybody was vomiting through their nose. So know how to process your grown foods from the garden. All
right, we got Ryder Dust just came in, and WD Glock and Roll.
Sweet.
All right, so I'm going to throw the link down here one more time for our regulars. If one of them wants to come up here and join us up on the panel.
If you guys haven't watched She Is of the Woods, she has a really foul mouth, but I really like watching her. She's very educational. She really knows what she's talking about as far as herbs and stuff are concerned. So if you get a chance, go over there. I put the link already in the chat a while ago, but check her out because she really knows what she's talking about.
I guess I'll hit mine up real quick. It's one basic umbrella, covers a whole gamut of virtually everything, and that's bushcrafting. Because in every aspect of bushcrafting that you learn will translate into regular camping, regular foraging, everything else. Bushcrafting encompasses virtually everything there is for a grid down situation, contrary to what some people want to say, because they don't want people to say, oh, well, I learned bushcraft. No, you need to know bushcrafting. It includes skinning your food and fishing for it. It includes making your shelters. It includes foraging for wild edibles. It includes, basic sewing and stitching, how to make rope and thread is needed. So bushcrafting, and I can always learn more about it because there's so much to learn. It covers virtually every single aspect. And that includes medical, because if you're out foraging and you go to chop a tree down, it falls and breaks your arm, you got to know what you need to do.
Yeah, there's 3 books I recommend for bushcrafting. That's Moore's, the guy who died up in Canada. There's Ray, I think it's Ray Mears, and then Dave, not this Dave, the other Dave. Canterbury. They also covered food processing, because a lot of people, I keep looking at it, do you know how to get rid of the scent glands out of a deer? And they look at me, and it's Bubba with a beer like, I never heard about that. And I'm looking at them like, when did you learn how to skin a deer? 12. How many beers do you have? 24. Give me that knife.
And Howie Food Forum is permaculture, and he's saying smoking. He's not talking about a cigarette. He's talking about smoking the food.
Yep.
And don't nick the intestines.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that would not be good.
Hey, Nathan. Nathan's here.
Hey, Nathan.
One of the things here, I'm going to throw something up here. Another resource, which, don't laugh, folks, you can learn a lot from here just by being an adult advisor. Boy Scouts and U.S. Scouting Service Project has every merit badge you froze. Sorry, the main screen just jerking around here. They list all the merit badges, all 130 plus merit badges. And you pick one like, let's see, where was it here? Oh, here's one for Dave. Get down to it. Wilderness Survival. Click on Wilderness Survival. Tells what the explanations are. You can download you can download the pamphlet. It's called the pamphlet. That's a lot of people have uploaded it in PDF format to Google Docs, and you can get the
No, I got a book.
Yeah, I see that book. Hang on a second, Dave. I'll throw you large here in a second. You can also download either a PDF or Word format, what's called the workbook. Let's see if it'll do it here. Get it open. Yeah. And this, you fill it out as you go along, or the scouts do, and you work on everything here from memory. The 7 priorities of survival in backcountry and wilderness. A lot of information, and the scout has scouting has a lot of survival stuff in water rescue, first aid, pioneering, lashings, rope making,
Cooking.
a lot of stuff. Cooking, rappelling, camping, hiking, bicycling. They got, like I said, tons of environmental science, hiking, life saving, personal fitness, personal management, swimming. A lot of merit badges there. All right, Dave, let me drop off that, and you can show that book.
Well, I already put that book away, but there's 2 books I recommend. First one, obviously the one I just showed, get out of here, moth, is the U.S. Army Survival Guidebook. Great basic information. The second book I recommend is from our friends overseas, the SAS Survival Handbook. Both are full of great information that you should learn. I own both. I've read both and will continue to read both until I can't read no more. Because as anything, it requires muscle memory and memory period to be able to do these things at a later time if needed. If you do it once and say, I'm good, and put your books away and don't do it ever again, guess what? When time comes, you ain't going to be able to do it.
Right.
It's the same with taking marksman's classes. If you shoot, if you go to range once and you manage to hit a bullseye and say, I'm good. Well, a year from now, when you have to use it, you're going to miss your target.
Honey Best Life is in the house. And there's an inside joke here. If nobody's been with scouts, the inside joke here is how to sell popcorn, because that's some of their fundraising is selling the scout popcorn.
Easy. I go talk to the local Girl Scouts, find out how they sold all them cookies. Then I hand them my popcorn and say, go sell it for me.
P2E is in here. That's Prepping to Endure. All right. So, Courtney, what skills do you want to learn? Any other ones besides?
I wrote them down. Give me a second here. Okay. I want to learn more natural medicine. I want to learn. I love carpentry, but I would like to learn more. I hate knitting, but I need to learn it. I'm not very good at it. I think that's why I hate it, is because I'm not good at it. I would like to do more midwifing stuff, because I don't think that would gross me out in any way, shape, or form.
Then you need to contact Nurse Amy.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah, and foraging. I would like to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Those are
Did
the
you
skills.
see what the Best Life put?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I did. I was debating, so someone pointed out, so I'll throw it up here. Sounds like they were watching the Avatar, The Last Airbender, following Zuko, trying to impress all the ladies.
Just don't hit yourself in the head.
Or in the groin area.
Or someplace
anywhere
else. Actually, I saw someone, he didn't hit his head, but he about broke his shoulder blade when he over the back. And blade there, he nailed that good.
I take my grandnephews to Taekwondo. I seen a guy, 47-year-old, became a choir singer in 2 seconds because he hit himself twice doing double nunchucks below the waist.
But see, that's not the hardest part. Try using trisectional staff.
I know.
And not hit yourself with it at least 50 times in the first day you're doing it.
I know.
I hit myself about 83 times doing it. But my sensei wouldn't let me quit. He says, no, you wanted to learn it. You're going to learn it now. You opened your mouth. There you go. Get it done. I still have knots in my head.
The one other skill that just popped in my mind here while I was reading everybody else's here is going to sound a little odd. But when you think about it, folks, there's a difference between using a high-powered powder projectile launch, a gun, a rifle,
pew,
a high-powered hunting pew, and a high-powered pre-charged pneumatic
that goes phew.
Yeah. Or unless you happen to like Air Guns of Michigan was doing with that 50 cal, it goes thump.
Or Maccabee Speed with his 72 cal.
Yes, but
we recommended to go check him out. For those who missed it, he put out a video. Now, mind you, this is a burned out car, which the damage is pretty much similar to a regular car. Those 72 caliber bullets coming out of that pre-charged pneumatic paintball marker went right through the car, through both sides. Okay, it's not a toy.
It's a hunting rifle.
I would like to get props to my husband. He actually knows how to sew. When I first met him, okay, and we were dating or whatever, a button fell off his pants, and he's like, "Get my sewing kit." I was like, "Huh?" And I'm like, so he sewed on his own button. So props to my husband who knows how to sew.
They actually taught us that in basic training too.
Yeah.
Whenever we got a rip or a tear in one of our uniforms, drill sergeant takes you over there, sit you down, say, "This is how you repair it." Because when you're out in the field, you can't just go back to supply and get a new pair.
Yeah.
Nope. Belinda, the best thing I would suggest if you want to learn how to use a crossbow would get the Cold Steel cheap shot. It's a 130-pound draw. You don't need any special tools with it. I've got one. And even with my disability, with my neck and my arms and hands being the way they are, I can still operate it with no issues. It's difficult at times, depending on how bad my neck's hurting and how my nerve endings are feeling, but I can still operate it. And at 40 yards, I'm still within a quarter-size group.
Yeah, folks.
Best life, when I was little, before I was 9, my grandmother was living with us, and she taught everyone how to crochet. She taught the older kids, those over 14, how to knit. My mom taught all 3 of us boys how to run her high-dollar niche sewing machine. And my older brother, who was a couple years older than me, for my 12th birthday, made me a 3-piece suit.
Nice.
And he was 3 years older than me, and so he was during his, he wasn't 15 yet, and he made a 3-piece suit. I made a bunch of Halloween costumes that are really cool.
Here's something else that a lot of people probably haven't thought of, but it would be good to know is through fire and EMS, one of the things that I had to do was rescue certifications. So one of the things that's very big in EMS and rescue certifications is having basic vehicle rescue, advanced vehicle rescue, and then farm and implement rescue, because we were in an area that had farms all over the place. And if you've never seen a farm mechanical item before, there's lots of things that can grab you, catch you, slice you, all kinds of bad things where you may not be dead, but you may have to take whatever it is apart. So you have to have a well-stocked toolkit, and you have to know, okay, how do I take this disking blade apart, from the back of this tractor so that I can get the guy's leg out.
Yeah, I had in high school, I had it was an older kid. He lost his arm in a wood chipper.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Also,
and
folks,
it doesn't even have to be mechanical like that running. It could be that you're doing something with ropes and chains, and if you get caught in a chalk block or something, it'll do the same thing to you.
Yeah. Also dairy equipment, because I've seen a couple of guys. It sounds funny as hell, but it's really serious because the cows go in a line and it's wet and you have to be really careful. I keep yelling at my workers that way for 2 reasons. I seen too many people got their heads stuck up a cow's, well, I won't say it.
Well, Lou.
Because they were trying to adjust the hoses, and guess where they ended up? And luckily I was there to watch everything and pull them out, because it looks really stupid if I have to call the fire department. There's an unconscious guy up a whole scene.
Yeah, 911. Yeah. This guy. He's stuck in a cow's butt. Yeah. What?
That's the one when we hear it on the pagers and we're going into the station. We're like, what did they just say?
Yeah, it happens because I'm in dairy country, and it does happen because the floor is wet. you have a heavy cow animal and it's on a track because it's either a circle track for the hoses and clamps for milking, and you have to be careful. I seen guys fall into the wash tank, and anybody doesn't know what the wash tank is. That's where we clean the cows before they get onto the track, and all the effluents and poo and everything goes into it. It's about 5 foot deep, and I see people go in and they don't come out, and I'm like, ah, crap. That's why I have a second change. Yeah, I have to pull them out.
Josh,
you figured that out through the information.
Yes,
you're already
exactly.
married. You're already married. You cannot go there. I will be happy to tell Mama. You can't go there.
I didn't marry into money, but I married someone who took my money and did amazing things with it.
She made your money into money?
Well, we got 3 houses. 2 are paid off. Well, one's paid off. The other one's within about 9 months of being paid off. Nice. And, of course, then we have the new one.
That's so awesome, Gil.
But where was it? There was someone else. Okay, Taylor said make diesel from plastics. I want to start simpler. I would just like to learn how to make diesel from corn and vegetable oil and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the next thing with that is I want to build a gasifier and hook it up to run a generator.
Okay. For those people thinking of making corn diesel and gasifiers, you have to take a course in chemistry and you have to take a course in engineering. Because I've seen people who's trying to make homebrew diesel scald themselves with caustic acid.
Yeah.
Also, I've seen people blow themselves up. Well, I could fire up the VW. And I'm calling 911. My friend just set his car on fire from the inside.
There was a YouTube video that got pulled down about 5 years ago of a guy that actually made a gasifier that literally blew the side of his house off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the dummy, he was laughing and joking all along. And about 10 minutes into the video, you hear this great big explosion. And the dummy left his video on YouTube. I mean, he recorded it and thought it was funny as hell.
Yeah. The thing is, though, during World War II, when all the gas rationing was going on, a lot of farmers hooked up on their tractors gasifiers to run their tractors.
Yes.
And actually the Department of Interior, and I forget who else it was were putting out the plans, detailed plans on how to do it properly. And actually those have been uploaded to FEMA's website now.
Oh, wow.
The British government also did that. Also, they did methane bags. And a lot of people looking at me, what's a methane bag, Uncle? All that cow poop in the wash tank and all that, you brew your own methane. And what they used to do was fill these huge bags, rubberized cloth bags, with methane. So you put it on top of your tractor and you drove your tractor using a methafier. But the trouble is, if you smoke, it's leaking gas, folks. They tried it on cars and light up a cigarette. And guess what happened to the truck or
car? Yeah.
You mean like those idiots that were putting gasoline in garbage bags and Walmart bags last year?
Yeah.
Give me a headache.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, I missed this. Here's your cold steel cheap shot.
See, there's proof I bought one, but it wasn't that expensive.
Now it is.
Yeah, now it is.
Yeah.
Now, cold steel, if you're looking for blades or other implements, cold steel is a good place to check out. They're reasonably priced, and they actually know a thing or two about blades.
Right.
So check them out.
And they got some of their blades there on Amazon.
Right.
Yep, almost everything's on Amazon.
Yeah. WD covered mechanic and farrier earlier.
Yeah, we got that. Actually,
right.
I know Courtney's already got this line, got the stuff to do this. Talking about gasifier and stuff made me thinking about brewing something else.
I got several
Yeah.
pieces of equipment for that.
Yeah,
Yes.
the nice thing is here in Ohio, the state of Ohio is a beautiful place for one thing. You can walk down to some liquor stores and you can buy your own still kit. As long as you're not doing it for public consumption, you can make your own home brew with a homemade home kit still. You can buy it here.
Yeah, you can make wine. You just can't process
sell it.
in a still. That's illegal.
Yeah, that's illegal because
but you can make your own wine and beer as long as you don't sell it.
Right. Folks, if you're doing hard alcohol like whiskey, brandy, and stuff, if it's home consumption, like a church, like the Catholic Church, or I forget what other religious organization, but you could brew up to 200 gallons. It's in the law books of the ATF. 200 gallons, as long as you don't sell it.
Right. Personal and family consumption.
Right, or religious.
Yeah.
The other problem is if you're making ethanol, that's a whole different animal. That's wood alcohol. It's toxic. So
that's rubbing alcohol.
Yeah. So you got to understand the fumes will kill you if you vent it out. Oh, we'll just vent it out like whiskey. No, you won't. You kill the whole neighborhood because it's a toxic element.
If it doesn't kill them out, the more obvious thing is going to happen. It's going to make them go blind.
In the 30s and 20s, it was called smoke because it looked like smoke when the gas was released. And drunks and bums would go, yeah, I'm getting high. And they would go blind because it's with alcohol.
And during World War II, a lot of sailors made the mistake. They thought, oh, there's alcohol in the heads of the torpedoes. They had alcohol in there to keep the mechanism from the water and stuff from getting into the mechanism and stuff and scumming it up. And so they would drain some alcohol out of it, not realizing it was wood alcohol.
Also, a lot of Japanese boats were saved because these idiots took it out and the internal mechanism of the torpedo. Oh no, here's a big Japanese battle cruiser. We're going to get hit by a salvo of torpedoes. Dud, dud, dud. They're looking at, man, the American navies are really using bad torpedoes.
Hey, Billy, it depends on from state to state. Each state has their own rules about making alcohol. I know in Ohio, you can make wine and beer at home as long as you don't sell it. However, moonshine is completely illegal. You cannot make that. And I'm 99% sure it's illegal in every state.
That part is yes, because that is still control. That's still considered not a controlled substance, but a
taxable.
Taxable. It's ATF.
Yeah.
They got another word for it. It eludes me at the moment, but they have their technical term for it.
Yeah.
In some states, it's illegal to make beer and wine too. So you would have to check your law books in your state to figure that out because some states are more religious. I know there's some counties, even where I lived at in Kentucky, that were completely alcohol free. So
right, because they're back in the old days, they were considered dry counties because of religious reason. They have ladies used to go to saloons and chase the men out after grabbing their beer and running for their lives, and they would go in there chopping up the bar, chopping up the beer barrels, chopping up.
Okay, so let's bring it back to the skills here. All right, what are the skills here? Does anybody think that they need to learn? All right. I mean, I know there's probably, if I were to actually make a list of skills I need to learn, it's going to be long. Animal husbandry, proper horticulture, tree grafting and stuff, how to graft trees properly. There's a lot of homesteading skills that I need to learn. Trapping, well, the one with fit for the fishing. There's a certain fishing that you can do in certain areas. Some areas it's illegal where you have the
trot line or gill net.
Not the gill net. It's the line. The
trot line.
Trout line, yeah.
Yeah,
not
I
access
can't
to that
see
many, though,
anymore, but
Gil.
I like to brush up on my piper skills because I used to fly a piper, but I never got the license because bad eyesight. And my friends were scared because one time I tried to land and it kind of went off the runway into the
Hey,
school.
flying's easy. Getting up in the air, that's easy. Get up to about 88 mile an hour, pull back. No, you're not going back to the future. It's the landing that's the hard part.
Yeah, I know.
It
That
drops.
scared everybody.
They said that when we were learning how to parachute too.
Yeah, you jumping out the
Falling's
plane
easy.
super
It's the
easy.
stopping that hurts.
Yep,
Yeah.
I heard the same speech.
Hey, Drops. Is that his first comment?
Yep.
Yep.
Hey, oh, he's been lurking.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're switching back from 22 people to 30.
I always see people like in Alaska and stuff make those fish wheels, like and stuff like that. I think that would be a skill that I would like to learn. But there's not a whole lot of fishing and stuff around here. But I can see people how that would become really handy for, you know, salmon and stuff like that. Is to make one of those and learning how to weave baskets and stuff.
Right.
I think that's like super important.
The fish wheels was common in Ohio because there was a type of fish. Now it's the Asian carp, but they used to have fish wheels in Ohio on the rivers before it got really polluted. And there was a type of white fish or mullet, I can't remember which, but they used to gather it. But it was considered, how can I say it politely, cat food, or it's a trash fish. They were collecting it for the chickens and for the cats.
Mm.
Yeah. The what was up there just was I brought it down because the chat's flying by. I want to be able to take it off here easily. The freeze drying is something my wife wants to look into more closely.
Contact Miss Nina or Pennsylvania Prepper.
Once she retires up here or moves up, you know, and when she joins me up here in 3 to 4 years, we have a friend up here that's been helping out my daughter a lot. April has a freeze dryer and told us we can use it anytime we want. So my wife's going to start working with her because she uses her freeze dryer. And she's going to start learning firsthand on and learning how to clean it and do all the stuff to it. But that's a skill we have in our plans to learn, but it's not going to be for a couple of years.
Yeah, and folks, again, on freeze-dried foods, oils and fat, because I've seen an idiot try to freeze-dried lard. It does not work.
Nope,
All you're doing is make it rancid.
And gum up the machine. Up the machine.
Because I had a clean one at our church, and I'm looking at them like, what the hell did they freeze-dry? Oh, they freeze-dried 5 gallons of lard, Uncle Al. And I'm looking at them. Do you know how much this damn machine cost?
Lard properly stored won't go bad anytime soon anyway. There's no sense in freeze drying it.
I know, but Dave, I'm dealing with idiots around here.
I understand.
It's like that one kid tried to milk a bull. I'm like, oh God.
Okay, I'm gonna have to see a video on using yo-yos to fish.
You've never seen a yo-yo used to fish?
No.
I can guarantee it's not the yo-yo you're thinking of.
Okay.
I was
gonna say yo-yo man, Dick's mother's yo-yo man fishing.
No, we're not talking your grandpa's Duncan yo-yo here.
No.
You're not going to be walking the dog with these kind of yo-yos. But if you're set up right, you will be catching some fish.
Yes.
Oh. Hey, Hedgehog.
Hey, Hedgehog. Now, Laura, I think she flies a piper. I'm not too sure. Because I watch 500 videos a day, so my brain's kind of a little addled after a while.
Yep. All righty.
Oh, scuba diving's good.
Does everybody want to keep going? Because we're at the top of the hour.
That's
Here.
fine.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Okay, let's bring this up here. He's throwing up the. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, you set those up, and when the fish actually bites on it, it'll start reeling it in automatically.
Interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
So sort of like a spring trap for fish. You go,
I've never seen that before. That's cool.
Yeah.
It is possible for something else to set it off. So sometimes it
true.
doesn't work properly, but
For me, it's
got
always a
6 of them,
twig
that's
or
6
something.
chances, so.
I pull up something that's not supposed to be there.
I have fun. I used to use it on rabbits, but let's see. WD says machinist. Yeah, like a metal worker like Bob 942. That kind of machinist. Yes, we did cover mechanic and machinist it's an important skill how to do whatchamacallit, milling, sheet metal work. I forgot the third one.
Yeah. So let me throw this back up here.
It's a big thing, Spinny. You take lathing.
I was going to say,
metal
you talking
parts.
about a lathe?
Yeah.
All right. So this is what we covered in the beginning for those that came in late. How many people know how to run a tractor and grow food this way?
I don't, but I know how to run a tractor. We have a Kubota.
Yeah.
I don't know how to run a tractor, but I can drive a tank. Does that count?
Hey, you put stuff behind it. All right, advanced first aid. Something more than just your normal first aid class. How to use draft horses and horse teams.
Oh, I almost forgot. Anybody knows how to do tack?
Someone mentioned that about learning how. Forget who it was. Talked about tack and tack repair and stuff.
Yeah.
That was mentioned in the beginning. At about the same point here. So you got blacksmithing. Of course, this looks more like he's making a weapon. Beekeeping. And you look closely at that picture. That's I'd say she's about 11.
Yeah, about 11.
If only I can conquer my fear of bees, though. I do have slight fear. Like, if you wear the suits, I guess it's not that bad, but...
Yeah. So pressure canning.
Guys I've talked to that handle them, you still get stung. It's just not as bad.
Oh.
I don't know personally. I get the hell out of the way, but...
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm looking at what headshot. I know a Vance first aid. All right. Farrier, taking care of the horses. Welding. And like Al said, other metal fabrications, working sheet metal. But then there's also silversmith, tinsmiths, the more fine stuff, making stuff. Oh, and processing the livestock.
McDonald's on hoof.
Right. Or processing agricultural foods, because I keep telling people this. Because if you eat cabbage by itself, how many calories in cabbage, folks?
There's not many, actually.
Yeah. All right. And then we talked about other skills, accounting, office work stuff. Because, hey, it's not all about the balloon going up and being the end of the world. You may need to keep on
Froze.
You need to know how to run things, especially if you start running a business as a side hustle. You're going to need to keep track of your expenses and where the money's coming from, going to, because you got to pay taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Decorative blacksmithing here. And actually, if anybody, what's Darren's?
Down under Farm and Forge.
Yes, Down under Farm and Forge. I love watching him work on his blacksmithing stuff.
Not to mention his knives are like awesome. Like, he does a really great job. It's crazy.
I actually, if I want to learn blacksmithing, I want to be able to go spend about 2 months at Alex Steele's workshop.
I'm trying to find that missing pamphlet from the Boy Scouts. It's worth like $5,000. You could do atomic energy at home after that one Boy Scout made that nuclear reactor.
What is that, like from the 1930s or 40s?
50s. And this kid, David Hand, in Detroit, Michigan, made his own nuclear reactor at home. And it went subcritical. So we didn't hear about that in Detroit.
Yeah, I sure did. It's still talked about, just not very loudly, because there are certain government officials that would like to have that maintained under the radar, that somebody in the private sector could actually do that.
Wow.
in his mother garden shed, and it was threatening 40,000 people if it had went off.
And if it went fully critical, it would have been a bad day for Michigan.
Well, Al, I got a more useful merit badge which has gone by the wayside, and we've talked about it here a bunch earlier. The sewing/tailor merit badge went away. I'm not sure when it went away, but it went away. It was still there in the 60s, so it went away sometime after the 60s. But that used to be one of the merit badges.
It went away in 73 with what's that thing with the flags? Starts with
Semaphore. Yeah.
That would be a good skill to learn. That and
Morse code.
If you know semaphore, all you can do is talk to Navy guys, so that's kind of useless.
Yeah, my uncle, that's all he did in World War II was Morse code.
Yeah, but the Japanese Boy Scout learned this because Japan's a maritime nation. You have to learn Japanese semaphore because sometimes they have radio difficulties and they know Morse code with this light gun.
Mm-hmm.
And they do that. I watched 20 minutes of them practicing for the Tokyo Scout Jamboree in Japan. Those kids are good. I mean, I'm like, damn, I can't write that fast.
I have a copy of the Hobo alphabet somewhere. There's all kinds of little pictures that they have that'll tell you, food's this way or a nice person's that way. There's a campground here, stuff like that. That's very good to know if you're out and you're having to move between places.
Yeah. Yeah. Stay away from this location. This one's good. That one's bad.
Or jump out of the train before you get to this destination.
Yep.
Oh, I got the county code for whatchamacallit. They use spray cans on the sidewalk. There's a book for that. And it'll tell you all the abbreviations for if the color of the paint. And like on the sidewalk, you look at it and like, what the hell's that? And it's the county marking off for repairs, if there's a leaky line, if there's a leaky gas line, if there's a broken thing there.
Yellow is gas, green is sewer, blue is water. Crap, I just lost the color for electrical. Red.
I thought it was orange.
No,
they could do it different in a different part of the country too.
Yeah.
That's
the California standard.
Right. Orange.
Well, California's backwards anyway. I mean, that's
that explains everything.
Yeah. But they also have one for.
Sorry, Steve.
Hi, Steve. But whatchamacallit? Because we have a lot of. I live in the area near Coalinga. We have a lot of buried fuel lines where gasoline and fuel diesel goes out. Do you remember what was the color code for that one?
I'm not sure. Wait a minute. Okay, wait. No, scratch it. Electrical is white. Fuel lines are red.
Okay.
Because
froze.
You froze.
Moment.
Yeah. I had to remember back. In Walnut Creek, California, Kinder Morgan Pipelines, which runs most of the pipelines in California. You want to talk about a cheap douchebag company? Had on the old rail right away going north and south through Contra Costa County used to be put in some of their fuel lines running from the Avon refinery, the Martinez Shell refinery, the Phillips 66 refinery up there, and running the line, the fuel down to the airports. Well, they mismarked their line. They marked it as going straight, and there was a jog in it. It didn't go straight. There was a jog around where an oak tree used to be, and that tree was long dead. And the guy came out just, marking along. So why is this jog? He looked at the thing and goes, there's no jog here. And he marked it straight. Construction crew came through digging in to put in a water line, and they drug right through it, killed the hoe operator, the 5 welders that were in the pipe down farther welding up the pipe because it just flooded the pipe. and took out 3 members of the labor crew that went in, that were running back to try to save people when it flared up the second time. And Gene Ime was the foreman, and he was a very good friend of mine. In fact, he did all the concrete work at my house in California. So those even learning to know those marks is very important. But yeah, and don't screw with those marks.
Right.
The only thing that saved the company. My brother was the superintendent over that job. He videoed from one end to the other after it was marked before the hose first dug. Videoed all the markings, and he goes, "No, there's no marking of a jog." "Yeah, we marked the jog." Showed it. "No, you didn't. You marked it straight through." So,
also, I think it's a felony, Gil, if you start to erase the county spray paint mark, isn't it?
well, it's not county. It's called USA what's this? Underground Alert, USA Underground Alert in California, and yeah, it's a misdemeanor if nobody gets hurt. If anybody gets hurt, it's a felony.
Wow.
And part of that was because of, why it became a felony was because of that Kinder Morgan line incident.
Night, Ned.
Something else that's good
All
to
right,
know.
Ginger, go to sleep.
Night, Ginger.
Something else that's good to know is the urban search and rescue marking nomenclature.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to throw people off for one reason or another from your house and they understand that, that's good to know. Or if you're in between 2 locations and you need someplace to stay, that's a good thing to know as well, because you can tell, okay, well, that is probably an empty area because there were 2 dead bodies found there and it's been cleared out by USAR.
Okay, so this is the book. Has a lot of the information in it. I can't show it because it washes out, so I'm going to make myself big. Don't freak out, people. I'm not that ugly. Yeah. But the cert field guide off of Amazon, and it has scribe, medical search and rescue leader. Come on, where is the? They have all the information in here on everything. First aid, blood, light search and rescue. Where is the building rescue? Nomenclature. Fire extinguishers. It's in here. There we go.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you'll see that when they go through after like a hurricane or a major disaster somewhere, you'll see that on all the buildings a lot of times from the news people going by. They don't understand what they're looking at, but if you understand how to read that, okay, they found 2 bodies there. There were 3 people alive there. It was crew number 72 from Florida Task Force 1, and they were here on the 14th.
Right. I'm going to put it back up here again. Yeah. So they mark it, date and time, what they found, personal hazards, victims, and other information. And it also tells you how you go in to search a building. Keep to your right. Always keep to your right as you go through the building.
I put the link in private chat so you can share it.
Actually, there it is. There's that. If I can get that to fit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I finally got mine. I told Gil this. After a year's time, Amazon finally delivered my order. What was it, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. And the price went up again.
Yeah, because when I bought it, it was like $8 when I got it.
Yeah. And a couple months ago, it was $10.98. So it's selling fast. People are buying it, and it's and these books are in the back of it. Let me go do it this way here, real quick. Here, boom. In the back, it has blank pages and stuff for doing graph drawings, taking notes. This is Write in the Rain. So this is not just simple paper. It's Write in the Rain. It has things to fill out, So
the other thing you can do too, in Pennsylvania, we did this when I was there. If you have an emergency management coordinator or district level coordinator, one of those things, you can go to them and ask them if you can have one of the CERT books. and we would give them out free of charge, because if anybody in the community wanted to at least have a book to read to know what to do, we figured it was a good idea, and why not give it to them? So they would just give them to you, because we would order them from FEMA. And yeah, I'm sure they charged us some nominal fee for it, but we had like 15 boxfuls of those things. And we didn't have that many CERT teams because people didn't want to volunteer to be on the CERT team. The people who would volunteer were already in the volunteer fire departments and rescue squads, and nobody else wanted to do it until something happens. Then they all scream for something. So.
Right. Now, I have to tell everybody, Japan has Godzilla, earthquake, nuclear disaster, the Olympics, you name it. So every September, one day, they all train. And in Japan, if you're a visitor or you live there as a foreigner, you have to take the course. It's by law, unless you want to spend a year's time in Japanese jail. I don't think you want to do that. They beat people with canes. But you get a book. It'll tell you where to get your Japanese earthquake kit or Japanese tidal wave kit or Japanese, I forgot, typhoon kit. And you always get a little white helmet, and the kit's complete. It has a week's worth of food, tells you what to do, where to locate, what courses you have to take. If you do not take the courses and you do not operate on September, I forget what day on September, but you see all Japanese has to go through it. And if you're a foreigner who says, I'm Canadian, I'm not going to do this, like that idiot in Japan did, he'll be getting out in about next year, I think, because he did this 7 years ago. Because they will fine you, drag your butt into Japanese jail, because they want to make sure everybody knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because look at the Olympics.
Well, it's a matter of life and death. So
I just thought of something. I'm going to check something here out.
Something else good to think about.
Go ahead, Bruce. No, go ahead, Bruce.
Something else good to think about too is if you want like medical training or rescue training. I say it all the time, but if you go to a volunteer fire department and tell them you want to learn rescue, you want to learn EMT, you want to be a paramedic, if you tell them you want to do that, they'll say, okay, if you agree to be here for 3 or 4 years, you're not going to pay for anything. They will give you all the equipment. They will give you all the training. Mm-hmm. And when you get out of the school, they will make sure that you're working with them. Or if you want to work to make money, with the EMS agency that's in your area. And then they let the EMS agency know, hey, we put this guy through paramedic school. He's going to be a firefighter for us and he'll work EMS for you. And then you've got a paying job out of it too, if you want to do that. If not, at the very least, you're getting very high speed training and you're going to get all the tools you need in order to do that job free of charge. Where else do you get that?
Yeah.
That pretty much similar to what I was just fixing to say. As soon as it's cool enough for me to walk up here to the local fire department, which is mostly volunteers, I'm going to walk up and see if there's anybody that's on the local CERT team, who to contact so I can talk to the local CERT team around here where I'm at. Because I knew the people in the other town I used to live at, but I don't know anybody here. So now that I've moved, as soon as it's sufficient for me to get there, I'm going to go check with my local volunteer fire department and talk to them about the CERT team that's here and see if there's any free training I can get, to maybe be that much smarter.
Mm-hmm. Ryder Dust. There were several of the programs in Contra Costa County that were having that problem when I went in and got on this committee for the county, and I rode hard on the coordinators for the different cities and stuff, and recently they've tripled their retention.
Hey, Sean.
So, hey, Sean. And so, but if you just still contact them and stuff, they should be, they should be holding monthly meetings. They're required to hold monthly meetings and let everybody know what it is. They are also highly encouraged to hold extra training classes, like, radio communications, get more in depth than you cover in the half an hour in the classroom on radio communications. If you get back in touch with them and stuff and get after them, hopefully they can things are getting corrected there. Let's see here. I'm going to throw something up here. I just was for laughs and giggles. I Googled here. Yeah, it's got a bunch of ads. Forget the ads. But this is 20 homesteading skills to learn. Gardening, caring for fruit trees. Fruit trees are different than shade trees, folks. Cooking, baking bread, making butter, preserving foods, making hard cider, recognizing good firewood, safely cutting and splitting firewood, cleaning your chimney, hunting, foraging, we covered that, using herbs for healing, Courtney was talking about that, beekeeping, chickens can be their own.
Hell.
I'm trying to think of a polite way of saying it.
Hell.
No, they can be their own office politics. Processing a chicken, making soap, building and maintaining a fence. Because there are different types of fence. There's a fence for chickens, which will not stop a hog, which will not stop a cow.
Or coyote.
Playing an instrument. That's just cool and fun. And learning how to talk to your neighbors.
Here's one thing that a lot of people fail to discuss, which we have discussed in the past ad nauseum at points, is finding a way to relieve the stress, be it through music, games, whatever. You have to find some time in a situation that is extremely stressful to relieve that stress without compromising, obviously, your security, but you need a way to lift people's spirits up. How are y'all?
Jay.
Oh, God.
It is very true. Have you ever stepped on one? Holy.
I know.
The
Soviets made poppers out of them.
Now, Legos is the man trap, devices of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. In the 40s, 50s, and 60s, it was jacks. The ball and the jack. You ever step on one of them jacks? Lego's got nothing on a jack when that spike goes into your foot, into your heel, and hits your bone.
You know what my dad found out that he didn't like so much before he passed away? It was my Lincoln Logs. You step on a Lincoln log, it rolls off from underneath you. Yeah, your feet are flying while your head's sitting stationary for about half a second.
Right. My dad hated those metal construction kits. This is before you guys' time. I'm a 60 kid.
You're talking about the erector sets.
Yep.
Yeah, the erector sets.
I
had one too. When I was 5, my dad went to Europe and came back with the London Bridge erector set.
Oh, cool.
Not really. It was extremely difficult for a 5-year-old to attempt to build the dang thing.
Yeah.
There was like 2,000 pieces to it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was huge. It spanned 5.5 feet across our living room floor when we finally finished building it.
Wow.
Fishes has got another good one, marbles.
Yeah.
Lawn darts.
Well, see, marbles are, I use marbles. I can use marbles for home defense. I know where I put them. You're taking a risk coming in here.
All right. So here's the military version of jacks.
Caltrops.
Yep.
Come on. Add this to there. Yeah.
See, I wanted to take and set up in the back end of a car a little remote operated door and have some of those loaded in the back end of it. So if I ever got chased, I could just open that door and drop those.
Me too. I think every kid after watching Batman, wanted to do that.
Yep.
Right, but there's a natural thorn type out in the woods that you can forage, and you get a whole bunch of it. Anybody wearing flip-flops or barefoot, they're going to realize how painful it is.
Buckeyes.
I will stick with what the North Koreans used.
Russian thistle?
No, budgie sticks.
Yeah.
I thought that was Vietnam.
It was big there too.
Caltrops are easy to make too. You can make them out of a 16 penny nail.
Yeah.
All you have to know is how to braze. You don't even have to weld them. You can braze them together.
Or you take a wire cutter and do that with a hog wire.
There you go. Twisted.
Yep.
You're just going to know how to twist it into right. So you have it. So say, like a pyramid. The points of the pyramid, 3 all the way around. Mm-hmm. So it always lands.
The Soviets back in the 80s for Afghanistan, they made Lego toe poppers. Basically, it's a giant-sized Lego, and it's packed with Simex. So when you step on it, it's going to hurt and also take off your leg, too. And they used to throw it.
The thing is, if you step on it with your foot before it goes off, you're not going to realize it went off anyway. Your foot will disappear. You will have no pain. So it's not that painful in your foot.
And also no leg either. That was used against the Taliban. Unfortunately, it got some of their troops too.
All right.
Because you couldn't tell what was out there.
Let's see. What are the... okay, we covered archery a little bit. We covered fishing.
There's one thing that was not covered.
Huh?
One thing that was not covered, now I was waiting to see if it was, and it wasn't, which is why I kind of hinted at it when I said cold steel. And we're going to give Mr. Corsair Trainers a shout out. Go watch his videos on security. Because everybody in here can learn something new about security, even those of us who've had beaten into our heads, so to speak. I can always learn more about security. Better keeping my place safe and secure, helping teach those around me how to do it. Because if your place ain't secure, it ain't gonna matter what you got. If you're not secure, you're gonna lose it.
Right, and do it legally too.
Grid goes down. I ain't worried about legal.
Okay, hang on. Where is it? Is this going to show up here? Or did I watch it on this one?
Hey, Bob.
There we go.
Home Alone.
Okay, so it's got a stupid ad playing on it. There we go. All right, so let's see this one. So this is the one that just came out today. And this is how deep can you go, bro? And it's and then the other one. Let's see. There's another one on the securities. This one here is the security. How are you going to stop them? And he goes through and he talks about it. And he sits there, uses his whiteboard, and he draws it out. And he goes down. He lists it. These are about 20-minute long videos. But let me go back here and show you. So security, 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 and security. And then he has the other one talks about book knowledge, book knowledge, book knowledge, book knowledge. Hey, you want to, he lays out some nice stuff here.
See you, Gardner.
All right. Take it easy, Josh. And yes. Okay. All right. So I'm going to have to wrap this up here now because my alarm just went off telling me it's time for me to go to bed because I got to get up early in the morning to drive to California. Or since Steve's not in here, I can say it, California.
He's probably lurking.
That just might bring, when he sees his stuff, he says thanks, Gil, usually, if he's watching. But, so that's, there's, a lot of skills, and you can look at skills, froze again. Google skills for homesteading, skills for farming, skills for bushcraft. You'll see a bunch of different lists of skills and figure out what you really need. There's, I think probably one of the neatest ones that we're going to be learning is going to be the bees. Any other comments, guys?
Nope.
The other thing
this was actually really good.
Go ahead, Bruce.
When you're going through and learning this stuff, find out what you have a natural aptitude for as well. Because if you just cannot take blood, don't get into emergency medical stuff.
Okay, so I don't have to learn how to knit because I know I suck at that.
If you can't do it, you would be better served to spend your time on something that you either like or that you can pick up easily and cover that, and somebody else can cover the crocheting or whatever. Because it's like, I've done the medical training, so should somebody else go through all the pain and suffering of going through all that training when I can teach them little things, little pieces at a time if I have to?
Yeah.
In a grid down situation. But you already have somebody that's covering that section, and my wife, because she was always a test dummy for us, knows all of it by osmosis because she had to play the patient. So, but find something that's in your natural abilities and work with that, because you're going to learn it easier. You're going to remember it. It's going to stick, and you'll be able to train somebody else to do it. And like in the medical stuff, they'd always tell us, you learn something, you do something, you train something, because that's the only way you really truly learn, because you have to go at it from all three aspects, or you're not going to understand it fully.
Yeah.
It's really good.
All right. Let's fire up this one thing over here real quick. So on Tuesday, on Tactical Tuesday on the my Gray Man Prepping channel, and that's Gray with an A, the American way, not E, the England way, spelling it. We're going to be covering wildfire smoke danger, because of all the sent a pic to you to Messenger. Okay, thanks, Nathan. Just lost my train of thought here for a second. Got squirrel.
Hey, shame
right now, of all the fires, last year they tracked. They calculated between 1,200 and 3,000 people died from the smoke particles complications.
Wow.
And that was across the United States.
Well, right now, even in the evening sky, you can see the haze from the smoke here in Ohio, where I'm at in Ohio.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world, folks.
Yeah.
No thanks. But hey, guess what? There's no place in the world right now that isn't suffering from fires of some sort. Even Siberia is burning.
Yep.
The White House.
Oh.
Not yet,
cool.
but soon.
All right. So Nathan sent me a picture here. I'm going to share it real quick.
Sorry.
Oh my God, we got to start now. Hold on.
Sorry.
Hold on. When we get a start.
No. This is fish. This is on the fishing one. See if I can make that. I'm not sure if I can make that any bigger or not. No, it's not. So you got the fish here. It shows how you hang that little yo-yo on a tree branch, and then hang the line down in, and as the fish hits it yanks them up.
Yep.
So yeah, that's okay. So that's how that works. That was earlier in the chat. We were talking about fishing with the yo-yo, folks. For those of you that weren't here, then that's what we were talking about. So
yes, Jay, I would love to build my own version of it.
Oh Lord.
But it would be a cross between the Black Beauty from the Green Hornet and the Mad Max Ford. I'd have to use a Ford, sorry.
First on race day.
Then found on road dead.
Well, at least it's not a garage mechanic's companion.
I owned a Gremlin. I kind of can relate to that.
Wait, hold on. You owned a Gremlin?
Yeah, I owned an AMC Gremlin.
Hey,
I love it.
Hey, and he'd roll around with his friends listening to Queen.
Did you have long
The
hair?
sad part is,
Was your nickname
Queen
Guard?
was popular back then.
Oh Lord. Okay, this is enough. I have to go now.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, so on Tuesday on Gray Man Prepping, we're going to be then next Friday here on Friday night on the Homestead, we're going to be talking about fencing.
Ooh.
So, Courtney, I know I've seen some of your fencing stuff you guys have been doing.
She knows how to use a foil. The wrong kind of fencing. I'm sorry.
Wrong kind of fencing.
Sporting fencing.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
fencing, what's your choice is going to be the topic for next Friday. And And the next two, I know Tuesday I'll be in California. I'm not sure if I'll be back on that Friday or not. I may be doing that live stream from California as well. And then in 10 days or 12 days on Tactical Tuesday for August 24th, this is going to be an interesting one. Which pet is right for you?
Wolf.
Ooh.
And considering my daughter just had to take back a husky to the animal place because it started growling at her and snapped at the 1-year-old.
Yep.
They took it back. They took it back this morning, because it snapped this morning, because they knew I was going to go over there and shoot it if it snapped at any of the kids.
Yep. But
because
when it gets to the point when they're that old and they start snapping, I know it sounds cruel and
it's
unusual, but it's best to put them down at that point.
It was an abandoned dog taken in because they couldn't handle it, and it killed their neighbor's chickens. And I told them, you never get a dog that's killed if you're on a farm. And once it's tasted blood, it's no good on the farm. And on Tuesday, when I was over there babysitting, it snapped at me a little bit and growled at me.
That's not good.
In 3 seconds, it was cowering in the corner because it learned I'm the alpha dog.
Yeah.
And so, but I warned them, and sure enough, today it growled at Megan and snapped at Oliver, and they took it back.
You Caesar Milan that dog, didn't you? Just gave it the look.
But I mean, it wasn't that old. I mean, she was big, but still was acting like a pup.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah,
it must have really been abused, or there must have been something.
It was a little bit of abuse before, but they thought, it's a dog, we don't need to train it.
No, any dog, once a dog's been abused, it's not safe around children.
Yeah,
and the adults it's around, it has to learn immediately who the alpha is, and it can't be shared. Dogs are one of the few pets that you can own that will take a person and bond with one person in a family.
Yeah.
Be it the husband, the wife, or it may bond with a child. And if it doesn't bond with somebody within the first 2 or 3 days, it's not going to bond with anybody. And if it's been abused in any way, shape, or form, it will lash out at anybody and everybody.
Yeah, so that's going to be the topic on the 24th on Gray Man Prepping. So that's what's coming up here for the next 4 or so live streams I'm doing. And if anybody on these live streams is an subject matter expert, email me. The email's in the bottom of the description. Easy to do. Camppatton Family Compound, one big long word, at Gmail, and I can get you set up to come up here.
Yeah, no, Proton Mail asked me twice if that was the right address. Because the first time I went to send it, I think I may have typed it in wrong, and I had to double check it. But are you sure that's who you want to send this to? Yes. Yeah.
All righty, folks. We're going to wrap it up here. I got get some stuff cleaned up here and get packed up for tomorrow. And so, everyone, stay happy, stay safe, stay prepared, and we will see you next time around.
Night, everybody.